What's up, guys, and welcome back to Gamer Nation here on Smosh Games. We love to have you here, where we take some cool topics from the industry and just kind of flesh them out, see what's really going on inside of our heads. Today we're actually talking about the most disappointing games of all time.
Yes.
Just like, not necessarily just a sequel, but like just games that were like, we're
of
ready
all
for
time
it,
might be an overstatement.
Yeah,
Our
just,
most
the games we were most disappointed by. How about we kick things off with Never Dead? What a great concept for a game, and what poor, horrible execution.
Yeah.
What, you could turn your arms into grenades, and your body disassembles, and you're like this unkillable badass. And then let's also fill the game with glitchy gameplay, terrible writing.
Yeah, generic monsters that have the worst names ever. It's like, what's that monster? It's a spoon. Oh, because it's shaped like a spoon. That's so creative.
Yeah.
I see what you were doing there.
Yeah.
It was just a terrible game.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all.
But it started with a good idea, and that's why it disappointed us. Because when you first heard about it, you got excited, and then you played it, and disappointment.
Do you remember who produced Never Dead?
I don't.
I don't even know if they're still around.
No.
Hopefully after a failure like that.
So I've always been a huge fan of Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal 1 on the PlayStation 1 was the first game I ever played in 32-bit. It was freaking amazing. I played that like all night with my brothers. Twisted Metal 2 came out. That game was even more amazing.
The best
one of the best.
franchise.
You could blow up the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
And then ramp onto the roofs.
You could unlock Minion and be Minion. That was the greatest thing
So
ever.
good.
And then Twisted Metal 3 came out. You played the first level, and it was kind of okay because Rob Zombie Super Beast was in the background and everything just felt super badass. And
Soundtrack was good.
over the course of the rest of the game, you were like, God, this game's kind of terrible. I don't know what it is. The levels aren't that good. Everything felt like weirdly like, I don't know, it was like less action.
Yeah.
It just wasn't good. Twisted Metal 3 really disappointed.
And then luckily they brought the franchise back with my favorite one, which was Twisted Metal Black.
Twisted Metal Black
was awesome.
As far as like the single player, the stories and stuff, it was definitely the best one. I thought that the newest Twisted Metal, as far as the gameplay goes, was the best one because it was kind of a mixture of Black and 2, is what it felt like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But as far as the whole atmosphere of the game, Twisted Metal Black was definitely the best one.
I was actually more of a Vigilante 8 fan over Twisted Metal until like Black came on
that game was just
PS2.
like ground. It was my favorite PS2 game.
Yeah. If we ever do a show called Undisappointing Games, Black. But
And I've said this before, now I actually get to explain myself what my most disappointing game of all time. I was looking forward to. It should have been amazing. Force Unleashed 2. Now, I mentioned this before in a Why We're Single episode, and I got some flack for it because a lot of people said, hey, this game's great. Let me tell you why you're wrong. The first one was amazing. Like, it had great story. The combat was simple enough but complex enough to master.
It's like Othello. A minute to learn, a lifetime to master. Yes.
Not necessarily a lifetime, but yeah. Now this one, you can literally go through the entire game just throwing every enemy and just throwing them off the edge. Like, yeah, there were some characters that can block. They couldn't block a throw, so you just do the block or the throw throughout the entire game. The story was horrible because the entire time you have the idea that you're supposed to find the one girl, but you never actually see the girl to the very end for a few scenes, and the entire time you're arguing pretty much with yourself, like, oh, I'm a clone. I'm not a clone. I'm a clone. You shouldn't be a clone. There's no such thing as clone Jedi. I'm a clone. Who gives a at that point in time? Get to another story arc. And then it's like, oh, there's gonna be a third one, but then the entire team got fired because the game was bad. Now here's the kicker. Here's how you know this game is bad. The DLC they gave for it was an expansion of the first DLC set for the first game, which is an alternate reality where Vader dies and you take over, and then you go down to Tatooine, you kill Obi-Wan Kenobi, you play that route. This was supposed to continue that, but didn't follow the canon, because the DLC in the second game, Vader was still alive, which he killed in the first game. Follow your own canon story. I wanted that game to be good.
Yeah, you could just go on and on about Star Wars, couldn't you?
Literally
Really
the
let you
most
down.
disappointing game.
how many angry letters did you send
I was
to
so
LucasArts?
excited when it came out.
I mean, it sounds like you need a therapist to talk this
It
out
hurts.
with.
It really hurts on the inside.
That was just, wow, that was a rant.
So that's my disappointing game.
All right,
I was
well,
hurt.
that topped us. I think. Yeah.
I guess we should see what Ian and Anthony were disappointed by. Let's go over to the Smosh Bot before Joven rages again.
Top that, Ian and Anthony.
All right, thanks for giving us a chance to talk, guys. Let's talk about the biggest letdowns for us. For me, it was definitely Spore because like
we were watching the videos online at like E3 for like 2 years, watching all this amazing stuff, and then we downloaded the creature
creator. Because it was like the whole thing is like you start out as like this little like microbe, and then you grow, and then finally
you slowly add like arms and legs and a tail,
and then you become like a spacefaring race.
It was almost 4 games in one. It was Spore phase, which where you were collecting microbes, and then it evolved all the way to the end, which was an RTS game. And it was like they didn't have enough time to make a good RTS game and a good little Spore game.
And it was more fun when we were just like you were just like the little guy. Once you got to like the whole like space thing, the game just got really boring.
It boils down to being too ambitious and trying to do too much. My biggest letdown was Age of Mythology, which came out after Age of Empires 2. I was so obsessed with Age of Empires 2 that I created a website.
He made an entire website, guys.
I made an entire fan site.
Spent a lot of time on it.
When the game came out, I played it for a little bit and just stopped doing the website. Actually, I made Smosh.com right afterwards, so it's actually a blessing that the game wasn't as good as I thought. I might have wasted my life playing the game and doing that site instead of Smosh.com.
So thanks, Age of Mythology, for sucking ass and, you know, helping us do Smosh.
Yay!
All right, cool.
Yeah, I was excited about Spore too when I heard about the concept. It
Didn't
sounded
everyone
great.
just make penis aliens in Spore?
Probably.
You know, actually, any game that you get the chance to make anything that resembles a penis, I think you should really go for it. There should be a penis factor in all reviews.
That I'm not gonna go along with that.
Just me? Just me? All right.
You're alone.
Yes, I am alone. But now, hey, this is Gamer Nation, so we want to hear from you guys as well, kind of get your opinion on what you thought were the most disappointing games that you came across. First one was from Soul Eater 177. Dragon Ball Z Connect, which funny. Just hearing from Ian and Anthony, they could really agree with you too. If you haven't seen that game time, I'll shoot a link to it in the description.
It seems like a lot of this motion and nothing else.
It's like, okay, you want me to do a Hadouken, but really you just want me to keep doing this.
That game couldn't disappoint me though, because I expected nothing from it. It's like, let's take Dragon Ball Z and pair it with the Kinect. 2 things I hate already.
I feel like there's never quite...
Bar's is low, everything's above it.
I feel like there's never quite been a good enough Dragon Ball Z game. Like, there's been some that are okay.
All right, so from Unregular Newman, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce your Twitter, you got Call of Duty Black Ops, Red Dead Redemption, and any game on the Wii. Now this, my friend, we're gonna have a little argument.
Yeah, those are all wrong, aren't they?
Well, Black Ops, I think
wasn't terrible.
It wasn't disappointment.
I enjoyed playing it.
I think
Black
it's
Ops
one of the
was
better
good.
ones.
I mean, a lot of people consider Black Ops like, people either say the first Call of Duty, people always say the first Modern Warfare, or they say Black Ops when they're talking about like the best Call of Duty game. So I think a lot of people would disagree.
So you're wrong. And also,
I don't think they should be making so many games, but it was far from the most serious.
But I think the big thing on this list is he said Red Dead Redemption. Are you crazy? How is that a disappointment? That is literally one of my favorite games. Let's all jump in there, ride some horses, and steal.
What else did they say? Every game from the Wii?
And any game on the Wii.
Well, first of all,
Did you
Super
not play
Smash
Brothers? Yeah, what is wrong with you?
Come on. No, yes, there was a lot of disappointing games on the Wii. We can agree on that, but there were definitely some good ones. Even
like
the Zelda
that,
one.
like that
Mario
Black
Kart?
Ops game
Yeah.
that was on the Wii.
Oh yeah, that was extremely disappointing. I actually had the misfortune of playing that for a little bit. Yeah, Black Ops maybe that's what he meant.
We'll agree with you there.
Yeah, that was
combine
awful.
those lists.
Yeah.
But yeah, Super Smash Brothers, that's not disappointing.
Yeah, that's one of the
Mario
greatest games
Kart.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Even Wii Bowling is just super fun.
Now, speaking of arguments, Daryl Neary says, I think I might be the only one who thinks this, but Halo 4.
Yes, correct. You are alone. Continue being alone.
Yeah. In fact, like you and me were playing last night and just having a blast
big team,
with
Infinity
it.
Slayer. Some guy jetpacked up off this like little ledge, and he had a rocket launcher, and he was looking for one of the guys on me and Jovin's team, and I jetpacked after him and midair assassinated him.
It was so
and then
cool.
I took his rocket launcher, and then I blew up a Jeep with his own rocket launcher on his team. How could you not like that? I haven't played the campaign yet. I don't know, you played the campaign. Is the campaign disappointing?
If you want to compare it to like Call of Duty that came out at the same time, yes, it doesn't match up in the sheer epicness of it, but the campaign was good. It's like, I think it was the best Halo game so far, and you feel like Master Chief playing this game.
Better than Reach's single player?
Better than Reach's single player.
Wow.
Like, Reach was
Reach's
good.
single player was great.
This one was just a little more, it was epic without being over the top. It's like you get thrown in these situations, but you're Master Chief and you know you can take them. So
I can't chime in. I'm not in love with Halo in general, but I played Halo 4 multiplayer. I had a good time with it. I can't really agree with his statement.
It's
Yeah.
no.
Plus the Mantis.
It's the Mantis.
The Mantis.
Best Halo game ever. Anyways, let's wrap up on that note before we get too much gamer rage and too much hate thrown at us. But please, hey guys, leave some comments below saying what games you were disappointed on. Let's keep the conversation rolling, because we love you. We want to talk to you. Guys, from all of us here at Smosh Games, this is Gamer Nation. We'll see you next time.